Welcome to the countdown of the most underrated NFL players of the 90s. We all know the big names like Jerry Rice, Brett Favre, and Deion Sanders, but today we're focusing on the players who didn't get the recognition they deserved, those who consistently delivered and made crucial contributions, yet flew under the radar. These are the unsung heroes who quietly built impressive careers and were vital to their team's success, even if they weren't always in the spotlight. Stick around. You might be surprised who made the list, and how these overlooked stars shaped the game. Kicking off our list at number 10 is Chris Chandler. While Chandler may not have grabbed the spotlight like other quarterbacks, his steady hand led the Falcons to an improbable 14-2 season in 1998 and a trip to the Super Bowl. Throwing for over 3,100 yards and 25 touchdowns, he orchestrated a team that few believed could go the distance. His defining moment came in the NFC Championship, where he outdueled the powerhouse Vikings in overtime, overcoming a Minnesota team that had the league's most explosive offense and a 15-1 record. Despite this success, Chandler was often overshadowed by the likes of Brett Favre and John Elway, but his calm leadership and ability to deliver in crucial moments made him invaluable. Fans may forget, but Chandler was also one of the more accurate passers of the 90s, finishing the 1998 season with a 58.1% completion rate. For a career journeyman, Chandler's run with the Falcons solidified his place in football history. At number 9, we have Mark Brunell, the original dual-threat quarterback who set the tone for future generations. In the mid to late 90s, Brunell was at the helm of an expansion team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, leading them to not one, but 2 AFC championship games. In 1996, Brunell threw for over 4,300 yards and rushed for another 421, showing defenses he could beat them with both his arm and his legs. His versatility allowed the Jaguars to be competitive far earlier than most expansion franchises. The 1996 playoff run was nothing short of legendary, as Brunell upset John Elway's Denver Broncos in Mile High Stadium, pulling off one of the greatest playoff upsets of all time. He finished that game with 245 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, along with 44 rushing yards that kept the defense guessing. Yet despite his electrifying performances, he was often lost in the shuffle behind household names like Elway and Marino. Brunell's impact went beyond just the stats. He paved the way for future dual-threat quarterbacks to redefine the position. Coming in at number 8, we have one of the most feared edge rushers of the 90s, Bryce Paup. In 1995, Paup led the NFL with 17.5 sacks, earning Defensive Player of the Year honors. But that wasn't the only year he terrorized quarterbacks. Paup posted double-digit sacks in 4 seasons and earned 4 Pro Bowl nods during the decade. He was relentless on the field, causing opposing quarterbacks to adjust their game plans to account for his pressure. Throughout his career, he notched 75 sacks and proved to be a disruptive force for teams like the Bills and Jaguars. Despite these accolades, Paup often flew under the radar, overshadowed by bigger names like Reggie White and Bruce Smith. But make no mistake, Paup's ability to change the game with a single play was second to none, and his adaptability to fit in multiple defensive schemes made him an invaluable asset. At number 7, we have the enforcer of the Chargers defense, Rodney Harrison. From 1996 to 1999, Harrison was one of the most feared players in the league, combining physicality with unmatched football intelligence. In 1998, he racked up 126 tackles and 6 interceptions, proving his ability to impact the game in both coverage and run defense. But his best contributions often didn't show up on the stat sheet. His leadership and hard hits set the tone for San Diego's defense. Harrison's aggressive style not only earned him respect, but also a bit of controversy, as he was known for pushing the limits of clean play. Despite his dominance, Harrison was often overshadowed by more glamorous safeties like John Lynch and Darren Woodson. But those who faced him knew he brought a different level of intensity to the field, and his ability to change the course of a game with a single hit was a rare and valuable skill. At number 6, we're looking at one of the most consistent and underrated wide receivers of the 90s, Henry Ellard. From 1994 to 1996, Ellard quietly put up 3 consecutive seasons of over 1,300 receiving yards with the Washington Redskins, catching everything thrown his way. In 1995, he pulled in 74 catches for 1,397 yards and 8 touchdowns, yet somehow, Ellard never got the recognition that players like Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin enjoyed. Ellard wasn't flashy, but his precision and reliability made him one of the most feared wideouts for defenses to face. During his 16-year career, he accumulated over 13,700 receiving yards, ranking among the all-time leaders. Despite being in the shadow of more high-profile receivers, Ellard's ability to consistently stretch the field and find openings in the defense was invaluable for his teams. Halfway through the countdown, at number 5, we have the heart of the Jacksonville Jaguars passing attack, Jimmy Smith. Smith was one of the most productive receivers in the league, recording 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons from 1996 to 2000, peaking with 116 catches for 1,636 yards in 1999. His precise route running and ability to deliver in clutch moments made him a nightmare for defenses, especially in playoff runs where he often seemed unstoppable. Smith's chemistry with quarterback Mark Brunell was crucial in the Jaguars' rise from expansion team to playoff contender. And while he was overshadowed by louder personalities like Terrell Owens and Randy Moss, Smith's consistency and his work ethic earned him the respect of his peers. He finished his career with over 12,000 receiving yards and 67 touchdowns, but his impact on the Jaguars franchise and its early success can't be overstated. Smith wasn't just productive, he was reliable when it mattered most. At number 4, Neil Smith stands tall as one of the most dominant defensive linemen of the 90s. Known for his ability to strip the ball from quarterbacks, Smith recorded 15 sacks in 1993 and was a critical part of the Kansas City Chiefs defense throughout the decade. His signature move, the tomahawk chop, became a nightmare for quarterbacks who had to constantly be aware of Smith's reach. After spending most of his career with the Chiefs, Smith joined the Denver Broncos and played a crucial role in their back-to-back Super Bowl titles in 1997 and 1998, solidifying his legacy. Despite his dominance and multiple Pro Bowl appearances, Smith was often in the shadow of his fellow pass rusher Derek Thomas, a Hall of Famer and fan favorite. However, Smith's 104.5 career sacks and his leadership on 2 championship teams speak for themselves. At number 3, we've got the Hammer, Jesse Tuggle. Tuggle led the Atlanta Falcons defense for over a decade, regularly posting more than 150 tackles in a season. In 1991, he recorded an astounding 201 tackles, an incredible feat that remains a high watermark for linebackers in the modern era. Known for his hard-hitting style and relentless pursuit, Tuggle was the heart and soul of the Falcons defense during their 1998 Super Bowl run. He played in 14 seasons, racking up over 1,800 career tackles and earning 5 Pro Bowl selections. Despite his unmatched tackling ability, Tuggle never received the same recognition as flashier linebackers like Junior Seau and Ray Lewis. Yet those who played against him knew he was one of the toughest players in the game, and his leadership in Atlanta made him an icon in the city. At number 2, we have one of the most underrated defensive backs of the 90s, Eric Allen. With 54 career interceptions, Allen was a master of turning defense into offense. In 1993, he had 6 interceptions and returned 4 for touchdowns, including a 94-yard pick 6 that is still one of the most memorable plays of the decade. Known for his combination of speed, instinct, and playmaking ability, Allen was a game changer who could take over when it mattered most. Throughout the 90s, Allen was a cornerstone of the Philadelphia Eagles' gangrene defense, and later played a pivotal role in leading the New Orleans Saints secondary. Despite 6 Pro Bowl appearances, Allen was often left out of conversations about the top corners, overshadowed by more flamboyant players like Deion Sanders and Rod Woodson. But make no mistake, Allen's consistency, ability to lock down top receivers, and knack for turning defense into points make him a true unsung hero of the 90s. And finally, at number 1, we have the heart and soul of the Carolina Panthers and New Orleans Saints, Sam Mills. Standing at just 5 feet 9 inches, Mills didn't fit the typical mold of a dominant linebacker, but his leadership and intelligence made him one of the most respected players of his era. From leading the Panthers to the NFC Championship game in 1996 to his 5 Pro Bowl appearances, Mills was always at the center of his team's success. But it wasn't just his stats that made him great, it was his character and impact on the game. Mills was a key figure in building the Panthers' identity as a franchise in their early years, establishing a defensive toughness that would define the team for years to come. Despite his incredible contributions, he was often overshadowed by bigger names like Derek Brooks and Ray Lewis. Yet Mills' legacy extended beyond the field. His "keep pounding" motto remains an inspiration to the Panthers and their fans to this day. Those who played alongside him know that Sam Mills was the true definition of a leader on and off the field. These players may not have always been in the spotlight, but their impact on the field was undeniable. Let us know in the comments who you think was the most underrated player of the 90s, and share your thoughts on future NFL countdowns. If you want to see who had the best rookie seasons in NFL history, check out this next video